Hey folks, Dr. Dan here. Thanks for joining us today on the show. We're going to talk about reproductive efficiency of the cow herd. Dr. Lacey Robinson from Kansas State University is my guest. Thanks for watching and stay tuned.
Closed captioning brought to you by Ag Promo Source. Together we grow. Learn more at agpromosource.com. This segment brought to you by Kansas Regenerative Medicine. Your stem cells, your health, your life.
Hey folks, welcome to DocTalk. I'm here with Dr. Lacey Robinson, and we're here at Kansas State University where Dr. Robinson is one of our field veterinarians. She's here in the Field Services Department of the Veterinary Teaching Hospital at Kansas State University. She's teaching students, she's seeing clients, doing a little bit of everything, aren't you?
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Well, we're tickled to death to have you here as a faculty member, and really happy to have you on the show. Thanks for taking the time out and even chasing a cow off for us so we can use the...
You bet. Anything we can do.
That's right. So today, folks, Dr. Robinson, I think one of your passions, right, is repro and
Yep.
especially cattle.
Yeah.
And, you know, I was sitting there thinking, we ought to want to do a show on reproductive efficiency. And I think you've got a really good game plan. I've already got to see your notes on talking about reproductive efficiency, and kind of tell me a little bit about what your vision or thought process is.
Sure. Well, as a producer, it's one of those things that's super important to us, and we fully recognize the value of it to your bottom line, because what it really means, reproductive efficiency to me, is the timeliness of getting that cow bred back and making sure she has a healthy calf every 12 months. And so that's important to everybody, right? Whether you have 2 cows or 2,000 cows, getting that live calf on the ground is really what matters. You can have a lot of different marketing goals and whatnot after that, but if you don't get a live baby, you're really going to impact the gross income of that operation. So for me, that's why it's really important to concentrate on, and why I'm glad I'm here to talk about it today.
I heard Vincent Traffus up at Smith Center give a talk one time about keeping records, and he said he quit keeping records because he'd never had a client cull a bred cow.
Okay.
There's different levels of producers, but
Sure.
to your point,
Yeah.
that if she's got a calf in her.
Right. And keeping that window of calving tighter and not letting that calving season get extended, I think is also really important for the uniformity of the calf crop, and the marketing options that you have for them increases, I feel like. So even if she's bred, maybe there's sometimes reasons to think about letting that one go, but yeah, you're right. Everybody's at a different place with that, but it's important to us all.
Yeah, and if we don't have calves, we don't have before we get into this, obviously you do a lot of pregnancy testing too.
Yep, that's one of the most fun things we do here at K-State.
and the value that the practitioner brings to that producer of being able to establish that those cows are bred.
Yeah, I think it's huge. And especially in years like this where we're in a drought situation, resources are limited, I think identifying those open cows sooner and getting those off your pasture, maybe even considering early weaning in these circumstances, is really important to keeping operations going. So for me, I think that making sure you get preg checks in and doing it in a timely fashion can be huge for profitability.
Well, we're going to take a break. I think it's very important that you said drought situations. We have limited resources going through the winter. Hay's hard to find. Maintaining cows that are open probably isn't going to be in the cards this year, and lots to come. When we come back, we're going to talk with Dr. Robinson about some of the things that she sees to making sure that we have improved reproductive efficiency in your cow herd. You're watching DocTalk, and we'll be right back.
To see this show and past episodes of Ag AM in Kansas, go online to agaminkansas.com.
Healthy cows start with the new hired hand automatic livestock sprayer. Rancher invented to provide an efficient alternative to pour-on and injectable parasite management systems. The portable design allows cattle to treat themselves head to hoof. Strategic device placement with pass-through activation technology takes the stress out of parasite treatment for cattle and the rancher, leaving more time to tend to other vital tasks on the farm. To learn more, visit cowsprayer.com. The new hired hand makes healthy cows easy.
Ag Promo Source is a unique group of marketing specialists with one mission: help your ag business grow. Each affiliate has their own area of expertise, and they work together to bring you advice, products, and services. To get started, visit agpromosource.com. Ag Promo Source. Together we grow.
This segment brought to you by Santa Fe Trail Meats in Overbrook. Visit us online at sftmeats.com.
Hey folks, welcome back to DocTalk. Dr. Dan Thompson here with Dr. Lacey Robinson. They told me to quit swiveling in this chair. I'm going to try. Dr. Robinson is an assistant clinical professor here at Kansas State University. She is part of our veterinary livestock services team and a great asset to our teaching and to our service here at Kansas State University. We're talking about reproductive efficiency. So break it down.
Yeah.
I know you've got it kind of two parts.
Yeah, I really feel like there's two major things that govern reproductive efficiency in a beef cow herd. And it really comes down to that postpartum interval, which basically just means that time frame from when the cow calves to when she starts cycling again and can be, able to be bred. And then also the conception rate. If they're not cycling, we can't get them bred. So I really think those two things are areas where we can hopefully, from a management perspective, sort of impact those and make those work to our advantage. So getting her cycling again, and then the conception rate, when we're trying to get her bred.
So when we're trying to shorten up that anestrus, it isn't something that just starts right when the cow calves, is it?
Not really. The one thing about it is I think body condition score and nutrition is super important for getting those cows back on track. There's quite a few things that impact how quickly she's going to start cycling, body condition score being one of those. And so I recommend to producers to evaluate that probably 90 days before calving. So that way you're not too late in the game where you can't impact it. So you could sort off the thin cows at that time, give them some extra groceries, and hopefully get them back up to, mature cows. We like to see them at a 5.5 to a 6 body condition score. Heifers 6 to 6.5 would be ideal. So that's one area that I think producers can really impact shortening that window, because there's some data out there that says if your cows are more in a 4 body condition score, then that anestrus period can be up to about 80 days. Whereas if they're in a 6, then you're more likely to get that down to about 55 days. So really that amount of time, that 30 days, can be crucial.
Yeah. So they need to be looking at cows, making sure that we have them proper body condition score, working with their co-op, their nutritionist, even the veterinarian.
Absolutely.
Can do a body condition
great
score.
resource on
we
that.
actually have
Yeah.
them. I mean, all kidding aside, a lot of veterinarians are going out and getting that extra training in nutrition to provide that added service in their practice. So while we've always had this banter between nutritionists and veterinarians, there are some veterinarians that are
absolutely equipped to help in that area. So don't be afraid to fully utilize your veterinarian in a lot of ways. The other thing that can impact the anestrus period is, of course, if they had a calving difficulty. So maybe noting which ones you maybe had to help, that had a difficult pull or something like that. Those are maybe going to need extra time. Also, just the general health of the cow. If it's a cow that is getting older in age, and so she was thinner in her body condition score, or a younger heifer who we know need at least 30 to 45 more days in that anestrus period, just kind of factoring that in. So with your first calf heifers, having those calve a month before your cows start for many reasons is a good plan. And one of those is so you can keep them on track to stay in the herd.
Gotcha.
So that anestrus period isn't too extended. So
that's a great point. I always thought about the heifers not having as strong as colostrum and scours and having those calves first and things like that, but then to think about the added time to make sure you keep those heifers in the herd.
I think it's really important for them to get a good start.
Good.
Yeah.
Well, we'll do the second half of reproductive efficiency when we come back from these messages. You're watching DocTalk. Thanks for joining us.
I'm Rexanne Strew, veterinarian in Western Iowa. I have a veterinary clinic and started doing stem cell therapy on dogs in August of 2014. And after the first 2 dogs, after 3 weeks, I saw such dramatic results. I said, hey, I have arthritis. I have joints, really need this help. Where can I go to get this done? I had stem cell therapy done in November of 2014 on my finger joints, my hip, and the ball of my left foot, all of which I'd had real severe problems with. Saw a pretty dramatic improvement in a short amount of time. I would certainly recommend that somebody don't wait until I'm in the position that I was in with the damage already done to my joints. I encourage veterinarians to use it for their animals, and I encourage anybody who sees this video, if you have need, get in contact with these people because this is a phenomenal place to have this done.
Your investment in the Beef Checkoff is opening new doors for beef. Today and tomorrow, our commitment to long-term planning helps ensure your profitability from one generation to the next.
Hello, this is Caleb Plyler and Son Charolais. This is my son Huck, my wife Brianna, and we operate a purebred Charolais operation in Hope, Arkansas. You know, in the business that we're in, the beef checkoff dollars are very important to us. A lot of that money is to educate people, just like kids that's in Huck's class, the importance of eating beef. You know, it's a high protein product that it's a very important part of our diet. Sometimes we get this bad rap as beef is not, you know, what we really need to be doing from a dietary standpoint. But, you know, being able to get to the kids and let them know that, you know, beef, it is what needs to be for dinner. You know, one of the bigger things with our family is getting to go out and show off some of our cattle. Huck, he gets to show a lot of heifers.
A lot of what we do trying to get him into showing is the fact that it's teaching him discipline, respect for the animals, and it's going to continue to give him lifelong skills throughout his life.
But I think it's very important that, you know, the next generation understands how important the beef industry is. Just like Huck here, we plan on him one day operating this farm. And, you know, if we can do that, we're doing what we need to. Because, you know, this country is founded upon people that, you know, have family traditions and do a really good job of keeping those traditions going. Huck, one day, what kind of cows do you want to grow up to have, you think?
Charolais.
Charolais, all right. You know, if the beef checkoff dollars are going to really good causes and really promoting beef, then the consumers are going to want to buy more beef, and that leads for us making more money in the end, and it really helps the quality of people's cow herds because we're able to enhance our genetics even more.
Hi, I'm Kim Mandarin with Hardy Insurance. I'm here to help you with all of your farm and ranch needs. When it comes to protecting your operation and your family, you need a name you can trust at a price you can afford. Call me today or visit hardyaviationins.com.
Sure Crop Fertilizers was started by my father, Don Sherman, and my mother, Shirley Sherman. Family business that started in the 80s. We predominantly focus on plant nutrients and what we can do to give growers better responses with the fertilizer dollars that they do, and what we can do to make those things work better for the grower. We're based out of Seneca, Kansas. We work with growers in their soil analysis to figure out what they need, and then we can put those in a blend that gives them the best results, and so that we can deliver that direct to their farm so that they have those nutrients where they need them, when they need them, and so that they can apply them in a manner that's very efficient to them and works well in their planting systems and what they're doing. Sure Crop Fertilizers has been around for a long time. We always say we're big enough to take care of everything you need, but we're small enough to do it quickly. You can get a hold of us at 1-800-635-4743. Our website is surecropfertilizers.com, and you can always email me at Corey@surecropfertilizers.com, and with any questions you have, and we're glad to answer and work with you.
This segment brought to you by Kansas Soybean Commission. Progress powered by Kansas farmers.
Hey folks, welcome back to DocTalk. Dr. Dan Thompson here with Dr. Lacey Robinson. We're at Kansas State University's College of Veterinary Medicine, where Dr. Robinson serves as one of our veterinarians here in our livestock services program, where she's teaching students in the classroom, teaching students out in the field, and also coming out to your farm to see your cows and your bulls and different things within your herd. Reproductive efficiency, we talked about shortening anestrus. Second half is?
The conception rate is really important. So setting those cows up for success. And so making sure that you've done everything on your end you can to make sure that they're fertile and that they've got every chance they can to get pregnant. And, you know, missing heat cycles, like if you want to do a synchronization program so that you can really dial in your resources for heat detection and AI and that kind of thing, I think really can be beneficial. So CEDARs and MGA and all those kind of things have really made managing synchronization a lot easier. So if that's something a producer has the capability and wants to do, I think that can be huge for increasing and boosting conception rates, because you're just doing a better job of catching them in heat, hopefully getting them bred in a timely manner. And so I think that can be really helpful. Not to hit too much on the body condition part, but I think it's also really important for fertility. So having them in the right condition at calving, really important, but also when you start the breeding season. So you don't want to let them, you know, when during lactation, those definitely those demands go higher, so you want to make sure they've had the proper level of nutrition and that they're not going backwards from calving to breeding. That can really have a detrimental effect on your overall conception rate.
Yeah, and when we get into this, you know, we talk about fetal programming and different things like that, and really it gets back to enough energy, enough protein, vitamins and minerals to match the physiological stage that the cow's in.
Right, absolutely. So it's not just a, you know, you're evaluating that once a season or something. You need to really have your eyes on them all year round, making sure that body condition is staying where it needs to be and adjusting your mineral program or your nutrition program appropriately. So.
Yeah, I mean, we start thinking about third trimester, beginning of early lactation, the energy drain during that time. And if you're behind on body condition score going into lactation,
you can't make it up.
Now you've thrown everything back. But I think it makes perfect sense what you're saying. Let's get them to cycle sooner to keep them on track for a year. And then when they cycle, they've got to stick.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think the other thing that's important to remember, you know, the veterinarian perspective, of course, but is the importance of a good health program. So that to me means vaccinations are done in a timely manner. You know, there's data out there to suggest you don't want to be giving them modified live vaccines any closer than 30 days prior to the breeding season starting. But you want to make sure the heifers that you're adding to your program really have the right vaccinations leading up to breeding so that they're protected from those viruses that can cause, you know, early embryonic death and abortions and whatnot. And of course, anaplasmosis and lepto, and there's just definitely consult your veterinarian on having a solid program, because that's very important too. And the bulls need to make sure they're fertile and you have enough bull power out there to get the job done.
Yeah, this show's seen all around the United States, and we definitely want them to work with their local veterinarian, because bugs that you have down on the coast are different than what we have in the Midwest and different than what we see in Montana. And
absolutely.
So we just keep working on it. Well, let's take a break, and then when we come back, we'll do a wrap up here with Dr. Lacey Robinson.
Valley Vet Supply is devoted to providing information and professional quality products at reasonable prices.
Valley Vet Supply.
Hi, I'm Kim Mandering with Hardy Insurance. I'm here to help you with all of your farm and ranch needs. When it comes to protecting your operation and your family, you need a name you can trust at a price you can afford. Call me today or visit hardyaviationins.com.
We do business with Blueville because of the quality of their work. It is excellent quality, and because they make a commitment to their customers.
We enjoy the benefits of hiring a good company to help us maintain this home.
We will always do business with Blueville. We have for many, many years, and there's no reason for us to look for any other service.
Thanks for joining me today for Behringer Ingelheim's Cattle First. When we start to think about labels that are on bottles of antibiotics, it's extremely important that we follow them. The first thing that's on the label, what species is this indicated for? So it might be for cattle, for horses, for dogs, or cats. Once we understand the species that these products are labeled for, what's the indication? Bovine respiratory disease. Could it be for foot rot? There's a list of species, indications. After that,
What's the dosage, what's the route of administration, and then what's the withdrawal time, or the time in which it's safe to take an animal to slaughter from the time in which the animal was last treated until that animal is slaughtered. So, species, indication, dosage, route of administration, withdrawal. All of these are important components on the label, so make sure that you follow them and use antibiotics judiciously. Boehringer Ingelheim's Cattle First.
No matter where, no matter why, the Veterinary Health Center at Kansas State University is committed to providing quality patient care to animals and exceptional customer service to their owners. From routine checkups to emergency and specialty care, our world-renowned specialists and experienced professionals are here to discover, to teach, and to heal.
Let us know.
How can I help? How can we help?
This segment brought to you by Kansas Farm Bureau, the voice of agriculture. To join today or more information, go to kfb.org or find us on Facebook or Twitter.
Hey folks, welcome back to DocTalk. Dr. Dan Thompson and Dr. Lacey Robinson. We're from Kansas State University. We're glad you joined us today, and we're talking about reproductive efficiency. And when we talk about repro efficiency, I think we've done a good job of talking about how to get those cows back cycling, get them bred, and then you have some potential selection tools maybe for people to think about.
I really think that now is the best time, because historically it's been pretty hard to evaluate fertility in a cow herd, and we've got great tools for EPDs as far as selection for growth and carcass traits, but we haven't made as much progress in the area of fertility and some of those functional traits that maybe we would like to see, because they're just harder to measure and it takes more time. But now with the advent of the associations, many of them having like a heifer pregnancy EPD, which basically is a percentage, so it's an evaluation of a sire's daughters, what percentage of them should get pregnant in a given breeding season. So the higher the percentage, the more likely that heifer is to conceive. And so we're collecting that kind of information now, and hopefully we can start to make bigger strides in improving in those areas. And
that's pretty cool.
I know, I really am stoked about it. And then you add to it the stayability EPDs, which are more a measure of the cows staying in the herd, right? Because that's a measure out 6 years that calf is having a cow is having a calf every year for 6 years in a row. And we know that it takes sometimes up to 5 calves for a cow to really pay for herself. And so that's crucial information for the profitability of an operation. And so with stayability and heifer pregnancy, even though those are harder to make progress in because they're not quite as heritable as some of our growth traits, I still think it's worth some emphasis. And I hope producers will start taking a look at those numbers when they select their bulls, or even, females they want to add to their program.
Yeah, it sounds like a consumer report on
there's just so much information. And then you add to it the advent of genomics, and that helps increase our accuracy, especially on those younger cattle. Because of course the stayability EPD, that bull's got to be 8 years old, right, before he's really been proven to know that his daughters stay in a herd for 6 years. Well, with the advent of genomics, we can know that information a little bit sooner. It's not perfect yet, but I think that it's a really important tool as well. So when you combine the EPDs and the genomics, it's giving us a lot more information to work with than we've ever had.
It's just amazing how bright people are that are within our breed organizations and companies that are outside the breed organizations that you and I work with, that are really like Sally Northcutt.
Yes, absolutely.
And, is making a huge difference in how we select animals and bring them in the herd, not only for bulls, but for heifers.
Oh yeah, and I think it's going to make a huge impact ultimately. And you want to make sure that your genetics match your environment and your management style. So you don't want to maybe select the bulls that have the highest growth or the highest milk EPDs if you have limited resources or limited labor. You're just going to set yourself up for more failure in the repro category, because it's at the last thing that they want to put energy towards is reproduction. So they're going to fulfill it in every other way possible before that. So make sure that when you're out there selecting those genetics, you're looking at the full picture and doing what's best for your operation.
Awesome. Well, thanks for being on the show today.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
I hope you'll come back.
You bet.
Folks, thanks for watching the show. We hope you'll come back. Remember, always work with your local veterinarian. And if you want to know what we do at DocTalk, you can find us on the web at www.doctalktv.com. I'm Dr. Dan Thompson with Dr. Lacey Robinson. You're watching DocTalk, and we'll see you down the road.
Closed captioning brought to you by Ag Promo Source. Together we grow. Learn more at agpromosource.com.